Day 3 Drag Week 2025, Maple Grove Raceway. My first time here. We completed the drive yesterday. It was not a long one, 119 miles, but took us a little over 3 hours. And the couple of stop and go traffic, of course, there's an accident, all kinds of mess, which gets you in trouble all the time. We got stuck behind school buses yesterday. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But that's street driving. So had a wonderful dinner. We ate at an awesome Italian place 2 miles from the hotel, and we were on our pillows by 10 o'clock last night. That's a record. So we are feeling charged and ready. The car is perfect. So give us the track and let's get it done. So this is the challenge of going from street mode to race mode, getting the tune-ups all just right. And I think the tune-up was right, but we had a little bit cold on the oil. And when you tip in on it, it needs a little bit more shot of the fuel to roll. And so when I first rolled into the burnout, it stalled. No big deal. Started back up, tried it again. When I went on the brake, it wouldn't move. And so basically the burnout flubbed. And next time I wasn't in the water, the tires wouldn't move. So 3 tries, my crew chief Jay made the right call. He said, get out of the water, back it up, we're gonna cool this thing down.
It hit the tire pretty hard. It spun all the way down through there, and it ended up lean popping. We probably could have went a little faster if it wouldn't have lean popped out back, but I was on and off of it pretty good. So anyway, it's not our track, right? So we knew these weren't going to be our tracks, and I'm not here to complain about the tracks. We've been testing on some pretty good slick tire prep, and I think what is out there is a little worse than what we've been on, I'll say that. But we're here to race, so we're about to pull about 40 pounds off the nose. We're going to loosen up the suspension. We're going to try to slow this thing down a little bit, and we're definitely not going to turn that in as long as this rain doesn't catch us and they don't make us turn that in. So we kind of missed it. We saw the track, went out there and walked it earlier. It looked pretty good, and when he went out there and walked it when we strapped in, he said it's changed a whole lot. So a little sun's come out. A bunch of cars have been down. We had to put a new set of slicks on this morning, and so that slowed us down a little bit. We were really hoping to be first ones to go down the track this morning, but with all those things happening, hopefully we'll get a turnaround. We can get back to it again. So if they give us another shot, we'll hopefully be able to put something faster up.
We were shooting for a much quicker lap than that, right? But with the heat in the transmission, it doesn't work the same as when the fluid's cooler. So unfortunately, we gave away some numbers on that because of temperature in the 3 burnouts, but we have a number now that still has us in the #1 position, and we're still sitting in record territory. So we're leaving moderately happy, not thrilled. Had I gone to 608, 609, I called, I would have been doing cartwheels. So we're gonna save that for tomorrow. And then we're still going for 5s on Friday when there's nothing left. And we said to each other, do you feel more pressure right now? I said, I really do, because you can't just go back up and try again. You get 1 today, and if we wait for #2 and it rains, we're screwed. So that was really in our heads as we pulled up the line, and I think we both didn't panic, but it just added an element of pressure that we weren't ready for. But we made do. We turned into 16 at 2:45, which is respectable, and here we are. Car's intact. We're gonna put it in street mode and go get some burgers. Watch this. We're heading from here to Cecil County for day number 4. It's probably going to be about 150 miles, which doesn't sound like much, but last night's 120 miles through the downtowns and the back roads took us almost 5 hours. there was stop and go and everything else. So who knows what today's going to bring? And you have to stop and get food, water, fuel, fix something, stretch your legs, your back, you know, all that stuff. So I bet you we're a 4 or 5 hour drive when we leave out of here, which will be 2 or 3 hours from now.
Folks, we're not trying to sell you green juice. We're not trying to sell you a home alarm system. But we do all our stuff based on you buying our merch, subscribing to the magazine. That's how we do it all. And the best drag week coverage of the entire week will be in SICK the magazine. Get over to the website, subscribe to it. That gets you entries for the Durango. I mean, we're giving away my Hellcat Durango, a $100,000 vehicle that can be sitting in your driveway just for being a subscriber to the magazine, grabbing some merch off the website. I mean, definitely the way to go. So get over to the website, sickthemag.com, grab some merch, help support us, subscribe to the magazine, keep print alive. So thanks for watching. On to the video.
We didn't get too far, and then we're dodging the manhole covers that were sticking up for our oil pans. And we start going down this hill. I lose my freaking brakes, all my brakes. We're going down a hill. I'm downshifting and into the gears, letting it drag as much as I could, dragging the brake, trying to pump it, get it back, the pedal back off the floor. Started using the trans brake to stop the car. We ended up plugging off this line because it blew out my caliper. Luckily I had lines for that, or plugs. I plugged it off, and I had somewhat of a pedal, but no braking, no stopping power. We actually wired in a trans brake controller there too, because we have this Bluetooth bullshit that Devin told me to get on here, and it must have been communicating with somebody else's shit some other place because it wasn't working for ours. So we wired that into where Brian had the control of the trailer brakes and I had control of the car, and it actually got us to the hotel, man. And I was just like, yeah, it was a real bastard of a day. I'm glad that one's over. The next day can't be any worse. Nice job.
4 or 5 wide.
I tell you what, that's the smoothest it's ever run. Anything, either of the cars.
It always does when it goes fast.
Well, I had my hand off the steering wheel. It was back here holding the chute lever, like the last half of the track.
AJ reliving the glory days of E-Town Friday night.
Let's see, let's go again. That was the smoothest pass I've made to this date in either car. I mean, I was able to, basically, it seemed like it took forever. It was all slowed down. I had my hand off the wheel on the chute lever at a half track, just kind of waiting for something to go bad, because the way it's been going, something should happen, you know? But it was so smooth, and then I threw the chute and I was like, man, I hope that was fast, because it felt pretty good. And I was very shocked to see that it went at 27. So that's what it should have been on day one, and then we could have something to work with. But we've been fighting one thing after the other, and the whole time I'm thinking, should have left this car behind and brought the other car, because at least I knew everything about it and it worked. And yeah, I'm very glad I brought this one with now, you know. So I'm mainly here to try to test the car. I'm not trying to catch up with Ned or anything. I mean, if they run their race, they're gonna smoke us, all of us. You know, I had a 60 run, I think a 50 run, and now a 20. So I'm probably in the 640, you know, 4 flat maybe, 45. So yeah, I can't catch him. He has to have a bad day, and he probably won't unless he has a really bad day. So so I just want to make another run, because we're here to test. And this car, I only built it to really beat Tom. You know, I mean, I don't care. I'll let Ned beat me like a drum, but Tom can't beat me all the time. That's for sure. He's beat me enough, and I'm over that shit. So that pass there was only it was like 500ths faster than the Javelin's ever been into the 8th. So it's, you know, we got a lot more we can put in it. I mean, this suspension works a ton better than the Javelins. So yeah, he'll just bring it all in a little sooner. it's either going to go or, you know, it won't. So, I mean, the way it is now with no sun on the track, this is the time to go fast.
We don't know. Tell you in a few minutes. Definitely threw a rod out, so we're not sure what happened to him. For some reason it didn't like it, so we'll see.
The bad part has been trying to be proactive.
My name's Will Fair. I'm from Palm Coast, Florida. The 56 I purchased about 2 years ago, and it got it from Texas. Bought it as a roller, kind of as you see it, and then we turned it into a drag and drive car. Recently, I got a PAR engine from Scott Duggan's, 540 twin turbo, new set of turbos, Roster Turbo 400. It's all the right tools that we should be able to make this thing the whole trip and set some good times. So we've been working with the car, trying to get the suspension correct. It's constant, you know, it's constant testing, but it's still rather new to us, and we're still figuring it all out. But if we can just make it this whole week, that'll be so cool. This week we went at 671 at 210 at MIR. That was the first 6-second run in the car. So that was a big moment for me. It's capable of lower sixes. We just have to get the chassis there and the track conditions to give us that number. We thought this track could probably be like a new media, and that run yesterday at New Media, I lifted early at the end. With all the wrecks they were having, the rollover and things, that was kind of gets in your head a little bit. So I pulled the chutes pretty quick, and we went a 702, which should have been probably a 670 at New Media. We used that same tune up here, and it just blew the tires off on the line, and I just aborted the pass because I'd have just been whopping the throttle the whole way down. But in hindsight, I probably should have done that to at least get me a better time. Looking at the radar, it doesn't show there's anything coming for a couple hours. So I'm hoping we can get a run in and get switched over to street and get out of here soon.
My name's Mike Carlton, 69-year-old from Rotorua, New Zealand. Travelled 12,000 miles, well, halfway around the globe to get here. We brought 2 cars, this one and that one, because that's a Monaro, which folks won't have seen a lot of over here.
Australian car?
Yeah, Australian car, Holden Monaro. And then we brought this because it's been on my hit list ever since the event came about. We came over as spectators in 2017 and 2018, I think it was. And then to confirm that, yeah, we wanted a bit of this. And then along came COVID, and I had open heart surgery and a few other things that slowed us down, but we're here now. It is a Steve Morris engine. I went to Steve because he builds high-power street engines, and my investigations at the time kind of said that you can have issues with valve train, you'll have issues with all these other things. I thought I'll just lean on somebody that already knows, and Steve already came with that knowledge. We sent over the hood and the blower, and he put it on his short block, if you like. And then Eddie, my tuner, and I, we came over and did the tune at Steve Morris's place up in Michigan there, and took the motor home, put it in the car. This car, to me, has always been a street car that can go fast. It's not a drag car that you put indicators on, if that makes sense. So it's a back-halved car. It's got a Dana 60 in the back, running 3 9s, I think it is. We've got a Reed Turbo 400 for the gearbox with a high first gear in it. That's just because I'm not a very good driver. I need more time to change gears. And we're getting super high inlet manifold temps, and so we run NOS, not so much to add power, but to keep those inlet manifold temps down. We've had a lot of success with that. So it probably, the base engine's probably about 1,500 horse, and we've added another couple of hundred by putting a 150 shot of NOS in it, which is just enough we actually lose temperature going down the strip on wide open throttle. So yeah, pretty happy with and it's a reliable combo. We've got down to an 8.3, 169 mile an hour, 8.3, and that, but we've teched for 8.5 here because we didn't want to, I'll probably run, my goal was if we can run an 8s all week. We didn't quite get there yesterday because we had a spark plug issue, but ran 8.8 first day, 9.01 yesterday. The goal would be if we can run in the 8s, I'm going to be a real happy camper.
Yeah, we're done. So we were hoping it was just a rod. We knew there's always a potential to get the crank whenever you get the rod. So the probably actually spun the mains and cut the oil off to the rod and then knocked the rod. So what we just put a set of rod bearings in it. Unfortunately, we didn't have any main bearings with us, so that wasn't an option. So when you don't have an option to fix it, you just kind of hope for the best. So we were hoping the mains were going to be okay, and they weren't. So threw 2 rods out, ended up getting the crankshaft. We're just out of parts. We're not out of time, which kind of sucks because I wish I could get parts, but no crankshaft and just no real way to put it back together. So when we got back here, we ripped it apart, trying to be quick. We're like, if it's just a couple rods, we'll put some rods in it. Hopefully it didn't get a sleeve. You know, we'll probably have both heads off, but that'll be all right. But just when you don't have the parts to fix it. So we're done. I hate to throw in the towel, especially with us running good and kind of holding our own, giving Goldstone a run, you know, trying to give him a run, but that's it. So we'll be back in 6 weeks for sure. Be back on some radial prep and see everybody what's up, because we've been holding the old girl back out here. I think a lot of our issues came from oil, just poor planning on our part. So we've added some stuff to the car since last time we did one of these, and I think it's really biting us in the butt. We did a lot of testing this year before we came, trying to make sure we could get down these slick tire tracks. And I think especially if we weren't so worried about trying to keep the motor alive since day one, we probably would have had some more. Like yesterday, I really wanted to go make a better run yesterday, but we were waiting to see if we had to, because I didn't want to put any more runs on the motor than we absolutely had to. So hopefully 6 week comes around, we'll be in a position where we don't mind making a few extra runs if we have to, really show everybody what's up. But I couldn't be happier with how everything came together. The whole rest of the car has done great. The motor's been the only thing, and I think 90% of it's been related just to this oil. So hopefully we'll get the oiling problem taken care of. It's just the oil gets so hot on the drives, it's just killing the motor on the street. So usually we've had no trouble with that. The last 6 weeks we had 0 issue, but we've added a couple pumps and rerouted some stuff, and I think it just won't live. So we'll definitely be hitting the drawing board again and doing a little more testing on the street.
How did you catch up with us? How did you catch up with us?
Don't know. How's your drive been?
Oh, the rain. The wipers weren't working.
Yeah.
It was fine.
The wipers.
Yeah.
Electrically.
It was a fine drive. Car's running fantastic. So now we get to head, over towards the track by our hotel, grab some dinner, and just take the noise away. So it was a fantastic ride. Next stop, I don't even know what city we're going to. Cecil County Dragway. Next stop, Cecil County Dragway. Woo!